What's up, you guys? Sean Ross Sapp, Fightful.com, here with a name. You know, somebody I've been trying to interview for quite a while, Tenille Dashwood. Look at the beautiful background. How you doing?
Coming at you live from Negril, Jamaica. I'm doing good, thank you. How are you?
I don't think that I realized how much I miss traveling until I go to your Instagram.
I give people FOMO.
You do. You're all
Yeah.
over the place. I saw you battling a monkey recently.
Oh, that was actually an older video when I was in Bali. But yeah, the monkey, it fooled me. Suckered me in and then bit my hand. So that was fun.
That's a tale of friendship. You can never let yourself get too close, I guess, sometimes. But
Yeah, that's true.
you're traveling. We see it on Taste of Tennille, your channel as well. It had taken a bit of a break, but we've seen you come back. You've done some more cooking videos. You've done some more travel videos. How has that been for you? Because this is an unusual time for a lot of people.
Yeah, so obviously I'm still kind of trying to live my life to the fullest, which is, anyone that follows me knows that I love to travel and I love my food and the adventures and being outdoors. And those things just make me happy and make me energetic and better as a person. So those things I always try to do. Obviously, things are a little different right now, but if you follow the right protocols, it is still possible to travel. Obviously, with proof of negative test results and social distancing and all those good things. So lots of sanitizing, masks, everything in public. So yeah, I'm still trying to live my life to the fullest and experience the places that are welcoming tourism and working with the resorts and things I do for my travel lifestyle influencing work. So yeah, living it up and loving it.
Has that helped you adapt to really what's going on out here? Because I mean, for a lot of people, they don't really even know the steps to take in that type of thing. But you seem well adapted at all that. Like you know the steps, you know the procedures, you know all that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into these trips, a lot of background work and planning. And I've got the beach hair going on. But yeah, so people just think like it's easy or it's always fun. There's a lot of hard work that goes into planning these trips and getting the footage and all that background stuff. Yeah, I've kind of gone a bit off track. What was the specific question?
I mean, like, how has it been adapting to this for you? I mean, obviously there are way more hurdles right now than there were 7 months
So
ago.
that's what I was going to say is I do a lot of research before I go on, where might be good to travel, if they're welcoming tourism or not. Some places kind of need it. They thrive and they function off people coming into the country. So I'm definitely doing a lot of research on where's good to go, where to stay away from, what expectations there are when you go to a certain place. So, for instance, here in Jamaica, I had to take a test before I came. I had to then get an authorization. And then once you get here, you still have to have temperature checks. And if you have any symptoms, you stay within a specific area. So there's lots to it. So, and, it's a lot different than normal because a lot of the hotels are operating on smaller staff, limited menus, all of those things. That it's different for sure, but I find it very enjoyable and peaceful, relaxing because there's not as many people around, so it's better for me.
All-time favorite travel destination. That's something I got to know from you, from somebody who has
uh,
done as much as you have.
All-time favorite. I have a few. It's not just one. I would say I'm going to list. I loved Austria and Switzerland and New Zealand, stunning, all of them. And my favorite would probably be Iceland because it's just like, it's not like anywhere else I've ever been, basically.
Well, you took a trip to Nashville, Tennessee recently. You popped back up
Oh,
on Impact TV.
it's a close third or fourth, that one.
Yeah, I like Nashville. I'm not a drinker, and I can still have fun there. There's always something going on
Yeah,
in Nashville.
Nashville's fun. Although, like we were saying, things are a little different, the lifestyles right now. But yeah, it's not a bad place.
So you're back in the fold at Impact Wrestling. You were off TV for a little bit. How has that been for you? I mean, I know that you've missed some periods of time recently because of some injuries, but was there anything specifically that kept you out, and what was it like making that return?
Well, I was definitely kind of keeping to myself, staying on the down low for a while, with everything that's going on. I didn't need, I try to put my own health and happiness first. So, which I think everyone should, which is very important. So, I was just taking care of me and making sure my immune system and everything was in order. And, I was definitely keeping an eye on everyone and everything that was happening at Impact. And, just some huge things have been happening, some big signings, some huge names. The Knockouts division is just on fire. So it got to that point where I was like, man, I miss wrestling and I absolutely love it. And you know what, I've been doing a lot of the influencer travel work as well, but it's time for me to get back in the ring and take that spotlight back.
What'd you think of those signings? Two that really stood out, Kylie Rae, Deonna Purrazzo. I
Yeah.
mean, Impact probably has the deepest women's wrestling roster in North America right now.
I would agree with that for sure. Like you said, huge signings. Deonna, I've worked with a couple times previously, and she's just always been an amazing competitor. And it's what's fun about Impact is that the women in that division absolutely love what they do, and there's no such thing as like a lazy person in that company. Everyone oozes that passion for wrestling and the desire to keep improving and getting better, and the competitive atmosphere, and that's what makes it so fun. And I've never stepped in the ring with Kylie Rae, so I'm definitely looking forward to doing that one day.
Now, I know that things are definitely different backstage and in front of no fans even, but you've been everywhere. WWE, NXT, you popped up in AEW, Ring of Honor. How would you compare that environment, whether it be in front of fans or backstage in the locker room in Impact? Because it seems very tight-knit from what we see on social media.
As far as like the vibe, like the locker room vibe?
Sure, yeah.
I think it's one of the most pleasant places I have worked, and I think it goes back into what I was just saying, is because everyone is there because they love what they do. So it is a positive environment where you can have input in what you do. You can look forward to what's coming next. You can know that there is always something in the works. And me as a person, I know I have that drive and that passion where I'm always evolving and making sure that I keep people's attention. So, the combination of all of that makes it a great place to work. And I'm like so happy that I'm a part of the division right now.
There are people of all kinds of experience levels in Impact Wrestling. And I mean, one of your matches is widely attributed to helping spearhead a change in women's wrestling. With you still being so young and having so many years ahead of you, how does it feel to like have people say that to you? Have people that you're probably going to be wrestling or have wrestled say, yeah, I saw your match and that motivated me to get into wrestling, or that motivated me to wrestle more?
Well, I love that. I mean, it always means a lot when someone says that to me. It's already happened to me before, but it's also a little strange because sometimes it's not recognized for that in this day and age. So I will say that I definitely appreciate when it is recognized. And, I've done a lot in my career, but there are many things I haven't done and that I still plan to do. So, that was a big accomplishment in my career, but there's so much more to come still. So, I just, it's like I don't ever picture wrestling not being in my life. I don't know how anyone ever steps away from it. So.
And I wondered that because, I mean, you have suffered some pretty severe injuries as well and missed some time.
Yeah, I noticed you can see like that giant scar down my shoulder.
How are you feeling physically?
I feel good. And that's part of what I was saying is, I have definitely put in the work to take care of myself as far as how my body is healing, how my health is, my diet, and all of those things, and just my mental health, and which is so important, especially right now, for people to make sure they're doing things that make them happy and, stay positive. So I definitely spend a lot of time by myself, but I think for me, some people it's good for, like, I'm not a person that needs to spend a lot of time with big groups of friends or being super social. I like my downtime. I like my chill time, my zen time, so traveling and the outdoors and all the adventurous stuff I do is what makes me happy and feel good. And that all comes back into how my body's healing, how motivated I am to, get up and go work out or to go for a walk outside or swim or whatever it might be. So when I'm feeling good, everything clicks, everything goes well.
For somebody like yourself who doesn't seem like they need to depend on anybody for happiness or anything like that, or does that make it easier to perform in front of no crowd as compared to, you're out there playing to a crowd, trying to decide what they like, what they don't like, adjusting on the fly? Does that help, or is it a detriment? How does that work?
It's strange because it's definitely extremely different. And I love the live crowd. I love feeding off the atmosphere, and that's kind of part of what made me fall in love with wrestling. But I also, in this day and age, I'm kind of a little just in my own little world when I go out there anyway. So I still love it, and the feeling of kind of embracing who I am and what I do for a living, and just kind of recognizing like that I get to do this all the time. Like, this is my life. I just enjoy that part of it too. So while it's different, I still really enjoy it.
You have a very unique experience in that you've been on, you have years of television experience, but you're still so young, and you were one of the most in-demand free agents of last year. And like I said, we saw you show up everywhere. What made you land on Impact? Because needless to say, you had plenty of options.
Yeah, I definitely explored my options and didn't rush into anything. But I will say that Impact made it known to me how important they saw me, and it's nice to be valued and appreciated. And the conversations, the people, the atmosphere is all in line with what I'm all about. And, like you said, I have been to basically every major company, as far as some people are concerned, every major company that I've worked for. So I have been around, I have experienced a lot, and I'm very happy with where I am right now and where things are going, because this company values their wrestlers. And I was saying before, it kind of ties back in having input and knowing you have a direction, and that things are going to keep going and getting better, and don't just fall off all of a sudden. It's just completely different. But I've had like years and years of cool experiences and things that like got me to where I am today. So forever grateful, but Impact is perfect for me right now.
Are you signed with them exclusively, like long term?
I'm signed with them exclusively.
Oh, hey, that works. And we saw
I don't want to be, I work for me, basically.
Sure.
So like I said, it's perfect for me right now. And as long as I'm enjoying things and doing big things, then I'm good to stay.
And we saw you pop up at AEW All Out last year at the buy-in, where you worked with a ton of different people. It's like, it was such a melting pot of just so many different levels of experience and backgrounds and places that these wrestlers came from. What was that experience like, and how did that come about?
Well, I have worked with, Cody and Brandy and the Bucks and everyone over the years through WWE or Ring of Honor or whatever it might be. So, we definitely were all having conversations all the time. And they reached out to me and made it known that they wanted me to be a part of this big night and big event for women's wrestling. And yeah, I supported that and wanted to be a part of it too. And I thought I'm under the belief that I don't like to be competitive in that sense. Whereas if wrestling is doing good, it's doing good everywhere. So it all helps each other out. And I just think it's just kind of, like I said, helped from there. People branched out, people got signed places, people got seen more, and it's all good things happening. So that's how that happened. And then I ended up with Impact after that.
Speaking of branching out, I mentioned Taste of Tenille earlier. You were one of the first people to kind of branch out, use your own name to do things like that. And that's been a hot topic in wrestling lately. Like, people got to use their own name and do that. You were ahead of the curve there. What motivated you to do that and to make sure that you didn't use any IP or anything like that? It was on your back, your personality, and yourself.
That's interesting, because I don't think anyone's ever really brought that up to me before. But I definitely wanted to make sure that I was in charge of my own career and where things were going, and that I wasn't going to be told what to do or how to do it, or to anyone to dictate my path, basically. So I tried to make it known early on what my real name was and what my passions are outside of wrestling too, because I thought it was important. Not only do fans appreciate being a part of your life and like being let in, you know, there's more things they can relate to. There's things that can help them. It's not just all about wrestling. But yeah, I am my own person, and it was important for me to show that and to kind of show that there's more for me to achieve in this world, you know?
I think Taste of Tenille rolls off the tongue a little bit better than like Eating with Emma too. I mean, it's a better brand
That was
name.
never gonna happen.
Yeah. So was that ever anything that companies have asked you to kind of co-opt, so to speak? We've seen that with some people's stuff. Like, a company will come along and be like, okay, this is taking off. I want it to be ours instead of hers.
Yeah, as far as Taste of Tenille?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean? Yeah, so I've definitely I've actually have a pitch for a whole TV show and this whole thing, bringing it to life. But right now I kind of am doing like an evolved travel vlog kind of version of Taste of Tenille.
Yeah.
To show everyone, because people have no idea of the stuff I do on these trips that I go on, and I'm working with brands and hotels, and it's what I do. It's like for a job, and so I like to be able to kind of show everyone that part of my life. But yeah, I keep going off track again.
That's okay. We were kind of talking about the brand and how you've adapted it and changed it, and a pitch that you had.
Yeah. So I guess the big picture is to bring it to life on a big screen, on a whatever it is, like a Netflix or a Amazon Prime or just a cable TV show, Discovery or Travel, one of those, like basically living vicariously through Tenille. It is basically the whole idea around it. And I've got a pitch for a show. I've spoken with production companies. Brands reach out to me all the time, with whether it's with things to do with health and fitness, clothing, different resorts, places around the world, tourism boards, all of that. And I welcome that. They can reach out to me at booktenille@gmail.com.
Nice.
But I mean, that's like part of my life, things I welcome. But I haven't found that specific group or people to bring that to life the way I envision it. So while I will say I'm not the most patient person, I am waiting, because that is such a big deal to me, to have the show that I want. And that's like probably the biggest goal for me, is to have my show. So that's something I'm working on, and just doing the blogging stuff on YouTube in the meantime until I can do it the way I want and bring it to life.
I was so happy to see it come back, and then with a bit of an altered format, because I've seen you travel on your Instagram, and now we see it play out via those vlogs, and you're still doing the food stuff, which is incredible. I think that's really awesome.
Thank you.
As we wrap up, how has it been adjusting your schedule over the last few years? Because it's changed drastically from being on the road all the time to being on the independent circuit and traveling all the time, to where the last couple of years, whether it be injuries or what we're experiencing now, it's I don't want to say your travel has slowed down, but I'm sure it's changed a lot.
Oh yeah, it's way it has slowed down really. And I'm definitely doing as much travel as I can right now. It's obviously it's not as frequent as I would normally do it, and I'm definitely taking precautions. And with the schedule with Impact too, it's definitely different than what I was used to. So it's a huge change. But like I was saying, I definitely take a lot of like me time, and that has helped with that. So I definitely just kind of getting in touch with myself, learning a lot about myself, studying a lot. I do a lot of reading and research into health and fitness related things. And I'm actually going to be taking a course to become an integrated health practitioner, so that I can not only be helping myself, but be helping other people eventually too, with health coaching, basically. So I find it also fascinating learning about diets and basically how much what I put into my body makes me who I am, makes me function how I am, and leads to all kinds of things. So yeah, it's been good for me mentally and physically to have a little bit of a downtime, and then go at it when it's time.
Has the fact that you are so adept at cooking and knowing what you are making, has that helped you like as an athlete, as a performer, whether it be staying in shape or anything like that?
Yeah, for sure. It's always been important for me, but I think more so now when I realize the impact it has on our health. It's important for everyone to be making sure they take care of their mental health. And yeah, it's, I noticed when I put different, if I'm eating bad, for instance, for a period of time, I'll feel it, so it's all like, I definitely pride myself in, how I look and how I feel, and kind of trying to learn as much as I can about that so that I can live to my fullest all the time.
So last question, you pop back up in Impact. Has there been anybody there that necessarily caught your eye that you look at and you're like, man, they're really good. They're gonna be a breakout star. They're gonna be somebody that you
Other than me?
Other than you. I mean, if you want to talk about yourself, I'm all for that. You can put yourself over.
I always put myself over.
I mean, that's what we're doing here.
Well, clearly me. Outside of that, I am very interested in working with Kylie Ray. I think Deonna Purrazzo is super talented. She likes to toot her own horn a lot too, I'll just say.
Yes.
But she backs it up, and she's won that Knockouts Championship, so definitely got my eyes on her. And Jordan Grace always gives me a run for my money. So you know what, like when it's time to get in the ring, it's definitely competitive now and exciting, and I'm all for that. So things are good.
So let the people know where they can follow you. Of course, they need to subscribe to Taste of Tenille. You're on Twitter at Tenille Dashwood, but anywhere else where the people can find you?
You said it. It's Taste of Tenille on YouTube, and it's at Tenille Dashwood on Twitter and Instagram, and you can actually follow along with my day-to-day things on my Instagram stories. I highlight all the trips I've been on. If you click on the little circle up the top with the ring around it, bam, that'll show you like what I did today. For instance, I did a workout, and then I had a green juice, and I'm going to go paddleboarding after this. So,
nice.
But if you watch the YouTube video, you'll see basically the whole summary of the whole trip.
Guys, make sure you check her out on Tuesday nights on Access TV, Impact Wrestling. Tenille, I want to thank you so much for taking the time. I truly appreciate it.
Thank you. It's good that we finally get to talk.
Yeah. Until next time, guys, we're out.